Sparks were flying at Virginia's gubernatorial debate last night. The Republican candidate, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears, came in hot, taking on her rival, former Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger. As expected, a big topic was the controversy over Virginia's Democratic Attorney General candidate, Jay Jones, recently resurfaced disturbing text messages calling for graphic violence against Republicans. Earl-Sears repeatedly pressed Spanberger about those vile messages. Senior national correspondent Rich Edson is in Washington with more on this. Hey, Rich.
And good morning, Julie. The Democratic candidate for governor in Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, is taking the same approach as most other Democrats in the state, denounced the texts, but refused to call for Jay Jones to drop out of the race for attorney general. Republicans say he should step aside after those text messages from Jones in 2022 emerged, saying he had 2 bullets for the Republican state House Speaker. Jones has apologized. In last night's gubernatorial debate, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears, the Republican candidate for governor, repeatedly pressed Spanberger on the issue. The debate started with a question about repealing the state's car tax. Earl-Sears quickly pivoted.
We had the money. We can do it. But really what I want to ask, this first question is, Abigail, when are you going to take Jay Jones and say to him, you must leave the race? He has said that he wants to murder his political opponent. And not only that, but his political opponent's children.
David Carlucci, former Democratic New York State Senator, and Gabriela Berrospi, Republican strategist and former political advisor to Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s presidential campaign, are joining me now. Thank you so much for coming on a Friday. Gabriela, I want to start with you. First of all, any kind of text message inciting violence in this country, considering the events that have happened over and over and over, the deadly shootings, the attempted assassination on President Trump, I don't need to go on, is inexcusable, and it has no room in politics. And anyone who does that should immediately be pressed to step down. Why is this even a debate?
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly the problem with the Democrat Party, that they don't condone violence. They're actually inciting violence. That's the exact reason why I left the Democrat Party myself, because this party, whenever you disagree with them, whenever you endorse someone who's an opponent, they come after you. They threaten you, they incite violence, and then the most tragic things happen as a result of that. So there's no place for violence in politics, and unfortunately, that's the go-to tactics for Democrats when they don't agree with you.
David, would you at least admit that Democrats have incited violence against many politicians in this country? I mean, it is the ugliest that it's ever been in my lifetime.
Well, I can't say it's Democrats or Republicans. It's all of the above. And
give me a Republican that's come out and said, let's go start shooting Democrats. Just please name one.
Well, no. I mean, we have just some comments from our president where he said he wouldn't mind if his supporters shot the members of the press. We have that on the record. So, look, I think it needs to be called out every time we hear it. And to say it's coming more from one party or the other is just absurd and is not based in reality. And that's what heightens this even more. Abigail Spanberger has called this out and said she does not accept it. But saying that someone needs to resign from a race of a text message they sent a few years ago is different. If this candidate stood by those remarks and doubled down, you have another story on your hands. But this candidate, Jay Jones, has said he regrets this. And I'm glad that he has said that, because there's no place for this.
You're right. There's no place for it. And I don't care if it was 2 years ago or 2 months ago or 2 days ago. There's no place for it. And nobody deserves to. You earn a seat as the attorney general. You earn a political nomination.
That's right. And that's why it's up to the public to vote.
Right. But no, it should just be flat out. Get out. Get out of the race. I mean, there's just no room for it.
Well, I think we need to give our voters a choice. This is the Democratic candidate. And you're right. People could have second guessing now with this type of character being, brought to the public. But he has said he regrets it, and that's what I'm happy to hear. He said there's no place for it.
I'm sure a lot of murderers regret their crimes, too, when they're sitting in jail for the rest of their lives. But you know what? It doesn't matter. They committed the crime. He made the statements. That's the end of that. We got to move on. The problems, I got to go on. The problems keep piling up for California Democratic candidate for governor Katie Porter. Yet another video has surfaced of her appearing to bully her staff. The third one just this week. Let's watch.
I need you to turn these off. These that are killing me.
No, we should put the computer up on it.
Yes, we should have. Yes. Okay, everybody, I'm not that dark.
It's too dark.
Just a minute. And the state could lose. Get out of my shot. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that.
Well, to those voters, okay, so you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
She's lovely. Now compare all that with advice Porter gave college students earlier this year.
Going back even to 2018 when I first ran, you pretty much for a year and a half bunkered down, raised money, tried to learn how not to say anything stupid to a reporter, right? And then the 6 months out from the election, you began to connect with voters.
A new headline, Katie Porter's bid for governor is getting noticed, but now not how she wants. Yeah, I don't think so. But she does it to herself, Gabriela. I mean, seriously, like, she just doesn't seem to like anybody around her. Why does she go on TV? And her staff seems to not really like her so much either, because the lighting in these shots are, I mean, if my lighting crew did that, I don't know, they probably would be tempted to. But nonetheless, that's not a good look.
Look, Democrats don't have solutions. All they offer is frustration and screaming, right? That's why you've seen so many prominent Democrats recently leave the Democrat Party, like RFK, like Tulsi Gabbard. I worked with RFK closely in his independent campaign and met so many others who, for this exact reason, right, having no answers, no solutions, the American people deserve answers. We want concrete solutions to the actual problems, and we are a stand for our values, right, and we do not deserve to have leaders like that.
All right, Gabriela Berrospi and David Carlucci, great to have you both. Sorry, that's all the time we have. We have to move on to some breaking news, but thank you very much.